Chapter 1, Mishnah 7. This Mishnah teaches when wine and oil are considered completely processed. In the time of the Mishnah, wine was made by placing grapes on a slanted surface, known as an upper wine press, and stepping on them to squeeze out their juice. The juice would then flow down the slanted surface through a pipe and into a cistern, where it would stay to ferment. As it fermented, grape seeds and pieces of peel that had floured into the cistern along with the juice would gradually rise to the top and would be removed. The juice was then poured into barrels where it would spend more time fermenting. The first part of the Mishnah teaches when wine is considered finished, so that it could no longer be drunk even as a snack without it being tithed. We now turn to the words of the Mishnah. Wine is considered completely processed once he skims it to remove the seeds and peels that rise to the top while it ferments in the cistern. Even after he skimmed the wine in the cistern, he may still collect wine from the upper wine press and from the pipe leading from the upper wine press to the cistern, and drink that wine as a snack without separating Maasros. Since the wine has not yet reached the cistern and was not skimmed, we may still drink it as a snack. The Mishnah now teaches the rule for oil. In the times of the Mishnah, oil was made by crushing olives to a pulp with a mortar or millstone. The olive pulp was then placed in a rough sack, typically made of ropes woven together. A heavy beam would be lowered onto the sack to squeeze the oil out of the pulp, and the oil would flow through the sack into a trough where it collected. The Mishnah teaches when oil is considered finished, so that it can no longer be eaten even as a snack without separating Maasros. Oil is considered completely processed, finished, once it goes down into the trough. Even after it went down into the trough, he may still take oil from the sack, which has not yet flowed into the trough, and oil from under the millstone that stuck to it when he first crushed the olives, and oil from between the boards of the oil press that never flowed into the trough. And put that oil onto a hot wafer or into a hot food in a serving dish and eat it without tithing it first. Since this oil never went down into the trough, he may still eat it as a snack. However, he may not put this oil into a pot or frying pan of food that has just been removed from the fire as long as they are still hot, because the oil becomes cooked in them, and cooked food can never be eaten without separating Maasros, even as a snack. Rabbi Yehuda disagrees. Rabbi Yehuda says he may put the oil that has not gone down into the trough into anything, even into food in a hot pot or frying pan that is no longer on the fire, except for something that contains vinegar or brine. Vinegar and brine cause food placed in them to cook more easily. Therefore, oil from which Maasros have not yet been separated could not be added to a hot pot of food that contained vinegar or brine. According to Rabbi Yehuda, a hot pot cannot cook anything once it is off the fire unless it has vinegar or brine in it.